If I waited for perfection, I would never write a word. Margaret Atwood. Or in my case, I would probably never complete a single project. Let's dive into it. This summer, I have made it my mission to finish writing a book I have been working on for years. I have done all the things to encourage myself to finally get it done. I started posting on my YouTube channel as a way to keep myself accountable and connect with other creatives like you. I gave myself a deadline and hired a developmental editor who will be expecting my completed manuscript at the end of August of 2024 on the dot. Once I felt that my mental, physical, and creative glass was half empty, I also decided to get away from the hustle and the bustle of the city for a week, momentarily detach from the responsibilities of my 9-to-5, from running errands and doing general adulting. Also, I could recharge and make some progress with my book. Progress was made, but it was precisely on this Connecticut lake house getaway that I am documenting in this very video that I realized something important. As I was looking out onto the perfect lake, enjoying the perfect breeze that wasn't too cool or too muggy, and smelling the perfect fresh meal I was about to enjoy, it finally dawned on me why it's been taking me so long to finish writing my book. It's perfection. It's the fear of the book not being perfect and hence not being ready. Only, what does perfection even mean? I don't know what it means to you because I can't see inside your head and your heart, and if by chance I possessed some all-seeing eye and could, that could be a story idea in and of itself. Feel free to take it and go with it if you'd like. But frankly, I can't put a finger on what perfection means to me either. Is it coming up with a book idea that's absolutely never been done before? Are there any such ideas left anyway? Debatable. Is it having characters that everyone without exception will love when such heavenly inventions like chocolate and muffins aren't loved by absolutely everyone either? Easier said than done, probably. Could it be not having a single comma out of place and using just enough exclamation points and ellipses in the manuscript, but not too many? This one actually could be pretty doable, but what happens when the punctuation is all taken care of and you realize that you still haven't fully achieved the first two goals I just mentioned? Whether perfectionism is something that you know you deal with and it holds a considerable amount of space in your mind, or whether it's a block that lurks in your subconscious, it can wreak havoc on your creativity either way. It's not a new concept, but it is a concept that I saw play out right in front of my eyes when I was editing my work, ran into a clunky storyline, and had a mini panic attack about how my book was never going to be ready, whatever that means. I am a book editor, and I always remind the brilliant, dedicated authors I work with that great books are born out of messy first, second, or even third drafts. Everything is fixable and polishable. I truly believe that, and the plenty of revised drafts I have read prove my point. But when I put on my writer hat, it can be so challenging to apply this lesson to my own writing process, because perfectionism is tricky, deceiving, and evasive. It clings to you like gum to the bottom of your shoe, and it takes great effort to rid yourself of it. Personally, the first step I have taken was to accept one simple truth. Perfection does not exist. I find Emily Henry's books to be pretty perfect, but does every other reader out there feel the same? Does Miss Henry herself find them flawless? I'm not sure, but has it stopped her from putting story after story out into the world? No. During my trip, I read a young adult atmospheric horror novel by Amy Goldsmith called Those We Drown. It might not have been the best book to read while vacationing by a lake, and it definitely turned me off from ever getting on a cruise, but I couldn't put it down, and I raved about it on social media. 33% of readers gave it a 3-star review on Goodreads. They found it pretty entertaining. Not perfect, though. But then there are the 22% of people, including me, who had a blast reading it and would have missed out on a great story if instead of releasing the book, the author was still continuously revising or decided that it wasn't good enough to be released at all, it would have been a huge loss. In some cases, perfectionism can be a driving force, sure, but so many times over, it robs the creatives of momentum, hope, and pure excitement. I realized that I wasn't ready to let any of these things go. Are you? When I struggle with writing, I turn to those who have already written things worth reading, because the way I see it, there's never a bad time to read a good quote. Here are some that I hope will motivate you the way they motivated me. You have to know when your book is ready, not perfect. Everything is perfect, and there is always room for improvement. Perfect is good, but done is better. Healthy striving is self-focused. How can I improve? Perfectionism is other-focused. What will they think? So, as I edited the remaining 8 chapters of my young adult urban fantasy, ran into issues, stressed over them, and eventually made the choice to enjoy the feeling of the sun on my face and simply keep writing anyway, here's what I discovered. It's not about her, or him, or them. To some extent, it's probably not even about you or me, the writers. What it is about, or perhaps what it could be about in order to make this entire, at times painful and challenging creative process feel less so, is the fictional people you already have given or plan to give life to in the future. It's about doing them justice. It's about knowing what these people and creatures are good at, what they fear, what they desire, and how you choosing to give it to them or withholding it will affect the trajectory of their fictional, but to you, and probably, hopefully, to many readers out there, meaningful lives. The lives that are laid out on a page or a screen in black against white, side effects of reading about these lives including smiling, sobbing uncontrollably, belly laughs, kicking your feet up and swooning, picking up important lessons, learning to accept others, and feeling accepted and seen yourself. So, write, embrace constructive criticism, edit when and where needed, and know when to let go and take the next steps in your publishing journey. That is all you need to do in order to finish and keep moving. Chasing this wide-reaching perfection can only lead to narrowing your own chances of enjoying the writing process. Most importantly, it can cut off the smiles, the laughter, the swooning, and the lessons that could be learned right at the source. Because what if you don't start writing? Because what if you don't finish? What if you write and rewrite again, not so that the story can be better, but so that it's perfect? Only that perfection means different things to different people, and the only thing you'll achieve is getting stuck in a frustrating loop. I am pretty familiar with the loop because I found myself inside of it a time or two before, and let me tell you, it's not fun in there. But letting go and allowing the characters to tell their stories however they end up manifesting, not seeking to please everyone, but hoping that your stories will impact someone, it is the most fulfilling feeling in the world. And if you've got a book idea that makes you feel butterflies in your stomach anytime you think about it, I hope you remind yourself, just like I'm learning to remind myself, to not let perfection be the thing that makes it slip out of your hands and robs you of the joy of being the one who ends up writing it.